Welcome back to another episode of Fluxtaposed, episode 236, recorded on November 6, 2018. On the docket today, IRL, Netflixation, What You Plan, featuring Diablo 3 and American Truck Simulator. Finally, we'll close out the show with the community grab bag and that sweet, sweet, awkward finish. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, enjoy the show. Oh, hey, you're just in time for another podcast. This is Fluxtaposed, episode 236. I am Jason. I am joined by Lucas.
Hey.
Hey, and we're here. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to be doing this podcast. We're streaming live, twitch.tv/Fluxtaposed. If you're listening in the audio version, hey, maybe you want to come check out the live version. Well, you can do that. Just head on to your old Twitch machine, type in that URL I told you about, hit return, enter, and it'll send you off on a magical journey through the interwebs, and you'll see our faces, our bright, beautiful faces right in front of your screen, doing the things. You can watch me get mad, watch Lucas get mad, watch us get depressed, all the things that we do in an episode of Fluxtaposed each and every week, right?
It's true.
I mean, that's what we do, isn't it?
That's a pretty good rundown.
I think so. I thought so. I'd like to think so. I like to say that word, think so. It's election day, midterms.
It is.
Hope you voted. You voted. I voted. We all voted. Got to legalize that marijuana here in Michigan.
That's right. I got the I have the results up live. And as I said, I have a celebratory joint. No, I don't.
He's got it tucked behind his ear. Don't worry, folks. He's ready to
I'm that guy.
blaze it up as soon as possible.
Blazed up
As
420.
soon
That's
as
my
possible.
Xbox
And
tag.
you can hear Lucas's marijuana exploits as well as his gallbladder exploits pretty much in real time if you want to head over to fluxtaposed.com/discord. That'll get you a little invite onto our server, a little corner of the web that it's a fun time, big time, jumbo. You know, it's a good time, right? I think
It is.
maybe.
It is.
I mean, people are still there. They haven't quit. Like, I think like joining a Discord server now is like the follow back on Twitter. You just do it. You don't unfollow people. You just join a server and you just sit there because you don't want to leave. You're like, well, I don't want them to think I don't like them, so I'm just going to sit here.
Pretty
Maybe?
much. Pretty much.
I don't know. Pretty much. Well, hey, we got a Netflixation to talk about tonight, so let's not dabble with the droll, dreadery, drubala, jabala, the stuff we talk about every night.
Bibbidi
Lucas,
bobby boops.
we survived Halloween. That was that. I had no kids, barely any kids to come to the house, which is weird. We're in this bubbly subdivision, no kids. And really, I think the biggest development happened right before the show. I'm sitting down here waiting for you, just hanging out, and all of a sudden I see some movement out of the corner of my eye. My cat-like reflexes are like dart, and I look just in time to see a little field mouse come going across my carpet down here in the basement. So I'm like, oh. So now I'm like all freaked out all the time. I hear something, and it's like I picture that old Dana Carvey skit when he's talking about when you met President Bush, and he's like sitting there, and Bush has got like the nuke phone like sitting there, and he's like, anytime he gets a call on that phone, he picks, it could be World War III, and he'd be like, "Did you hear a little ringy dingy?" And that's all I can hear now. I think, did you hear a scratch? I think I saw something. I heard it moving. So I got some traps set. We're gonna trap him. I'm gonna trap him, and then I'm gonna throw him out in the trash.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I had a good run though. We had mice. I think our first winter in this house. I haven't had any since then. And it's been like 4 years. So it's kind of bound to happen when you live in. And when I have like some, I don't have a lot of woods around me, but there's some wooded area. There's some wooded area. And really, man, beyond that, it's been a week of I don't know. No news is good news, right? I mean, nothing. Let's face it. We don't talk a lot about real life stuff. So we can do it on here to kind of make it like entertaining and fun for everyone.
It's true.
I don't know if it is. I did meet our buddy Jared. We hung up and had drinks last week, so that was kind of fun too. And hey, there's that Smash Bros. Direct because people haven't seen a Smash Bros. Direct yet, and so that game's coming in 30 days. So now we can do a countdown, not only to Smash Brothers, not only to your surgery, but to my holiday party as well, because it's all coming on the same day. Look at that, triple booked.
Dang,
Dan
dude.
Anthony's here. Josh Barboni, hashtag Butts is here. Thanks, guys. Hi. How do you? Hi, fellas. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Dan.
I like it.
That's me, man. What you got?
Well, right now I'm just trying to deal with some audio issues. That's probably why it seems like I'm not paying attention, but I promise I am.
I thought you were just impersonating me.
No. I'd be much more of an asshole if I was doing that.
It's true.
I kid. No, really all I had was we went to we went to a local rural town here to have to do our trick or treating on Halloween, because of course we last recorded on Devil's Night. So
That's right.
and it was a small town affair.
Also,
it was good time. Yes, I saw your picture. Ooh, it's got the Smash logo. I didn't know that. Like, you need more help to kick my ass.
I gotta find one of my old controllers because the Z button really feels spongy. It's like a spongy button.
Spongy.
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
I can't even play it. I have nothing that's compatible with right now, so it's just.
Oh, it has to have compatibility with that particular controller.
I mean, I think it'll work on any game, but I mean, you don't want to use that little C. I'm holding up a GameCube controller for people who are wanting the little C nubby for an analog stick. You know,
that's true.
It's so comfortable.
That's true. No, all I was gonna say was it was nice, and I preferred it over Trunk or Treat, which was, in comparison, you just stand in a line with a bunch of adults and kids, with adults and kids to your front with like 1 foot in front of you, and then adults and kids behind you 1 foot behind you, and it's just horrible and kind of, I don't know, sets off my anxiety and my anger. So this was nice to just walk around.
Jam.
Yeah, exactly. So we had some space to walk around and do the trick or treating. Now during this time, if as people may know from the last episode, I lost my voice as the episode kept going.
Dude, I don't watch the episodes, but I have the chat up and I'm logged in as myself.
Yeah.
And I view Fluxtaposed, so I can view, a little button pops up. It says view last video. I was like, oh, okay. And I just skipped around and I skipped towards the end, and you're like,
this sounds about
You were like the crypt keeper as he was dying, I think.
Oh, okay.
And if he ate a bunch of sand before he died and started talking, that's what your voice sounded like.
I think it was more like the Skeksis from oh my
Dark
gosh,
Crystal.
it's literally right behind me.
Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Yeah, the Dark Crystal. And he says, "I'm not dead yet." When they try to take the scepter away from him or whatever. Yeah, well, that proceeded into me getting just your typical basic cold, which was nice. I really enjoyed that. So I went from, hey, I can't talk, which I legitimately lost my voice. Oh my gosh, it was so frustrating trying to wrangle a dog and a kid. I got to talk like this. Like, I literally couldn't get loud enough. So my kid is talking over me, and I'm like, Isaac, you gotta listen. Like, oh, it was awful. So frustrating.
Dude, how is Discord, side tangent, how's Discord running for you? Because I'm watching our video. Mine looks like crap. We had this problem with if we ran Nintendo last Friday. Like, the Discord just was like running like
yeah,
garbage.
you keep blinking in and out too, I've noticed. Oh, I just did it, and you just did it. And you're freezing up, and you have derp face right now. Oh, you're still there. Okay. You froze for so long, I didn't know if you legitimately got dropped or what. And I can't hear you. You can't hear me either? Oh, shit. You can hear me. I can't hear you. What the fuck? I did not touch anything. Let me... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a Discord problem because I haven't touched anything. No. He says, he types, can you hear me? No. Fuck. Man, he's going to drop and come back. Yeah. I can't hear you. No. What the fuck? Oh my God. Top notch podcasting. What the hell? What is going on, guys? This is the worst. We had problems before the podcast, and now we have problems during the podcast. I'm about ready to say scrap it all. F it. Jason's talking to me. I still can't hear him. He pointed at me. You try leaving the call. He says. As if I'm the problem. Hello. Let me, you know what? Let me make it. Whoop. Let's not do that. Let's make us, how do I make you small? There you go. Yeah, you're transmitting. So it has something to do with the setup again. What the fuck? Oh, hey,
Oh.
I hear you now.
Hey, I hear myself too.
Just like magic.
Oh, look it. I'm in both screens.
You in
Look
both screens. Get the
Look
fuck out of there.
I got one hand in each.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, hi. Ooh.
Can't do it.
Okay, so how does us changing a Discord server change the audio on your side?
I don't know, because all I did is I went into my settings and it probably showed up while I did it. Let's see. Yeah, it showed up and I reaffirmed my output device.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Fucking Discord's the worst. I did adjust the antenna. What were we talking about? I want to get...
Side note, my picture looks better.
It does look better, actually.
So it was worth it.
It was worth it.
But I still hear myself, and it's annoying. So you should change that.
I don't know. I don't know why, actually. Let me check.
I hate this podcast. Let's just quit. We're going to get back everybody their money, and we're just going to quit.
I literally don't know why you're hearing yourself. So
I don't now. So whatever you did is good.
I didn't do anything.
Okay. Well,
Jesus Christ. You think we didn't know what we were doing?
Okay, I think we need a new mixer. This is my vote. I think this mixer sucks.
New mixer, all new cables, all new everything.
I think that's the problem. I think this mixer sucks. I think we should ask Johnny Casino Bueller what mixer he uses, because ours sucks.
It's probably like, well, it probably has more than 4 inputs. I can tell you that.
This is what happens when you go, hey, that's the cheap one. Let's buy it.
Well, we're a cheap podcast, so.
Donnie, yes, you don't have a mixer, but you also don't play music and stuff live on the show, and we do.
Yeah. We added what's called production value.
And all the guests can hear it.
Yeah.
So there. So get out of here with your
dumb
talk
poop.
about stuff.
Your poop talk.
Next thing you know, he's going to be talking in the chat and saying, I don't like Red Dead Redemption, and get everyone all angry.
Just don't talk about Pokemon and we can still be friends. Anyways, my whole point was that I got sick on Halloween, which continues the tradition of getting sick on Halloween. I lost my voice and then I got a cold.
You knew that was coming. So
I knew. Winter's coming too. I know that as well.
Oh, that's dumb.
And sorry, I was reading the chat. And that's that. And a bag of chips.
Donnie, you're not inadequate. We love you.
Yeah, it's okay that you
I am chopping at the bit to talk about this fantastic movie that we picked this week. No, we didn't pick it. You people, you picked it. We just offered them. You voted on them, and you gave us VHS 2, this week's Netflixation. So, so Netflix VHS 2 is a anthology film. So the way we will break it down, we're gonna go through. There's 4 short films, right? Four
Yeah, I
short
think it
films,
was
and
4.
then the story that connects them all together. So we will. How
Are
did
you
you spell
implying
this
there's
out?
no story here,
Yeah.
sir?
How did you have that spelled out together? Do you want to go through the 4 films themselves and then do
And then
the
the overarching story
yeah
last. Yeah, let's do that.
yeah? I don't have the names of them,
No, I just called them
so
tape 1, tape 2.
so they all have names, but we don't care. So first, we're going to talk about tape 1. Your short synopsis: a man who had a car accident, had lost an eye. He has his ocular implant, and then he sees ghosts. You won't believe what happens next.
Yes.
I mean, that's essentially it. Again, as always for Netflixation, spoilers. Also, in regards to VHS 2, if you haven't watched it, not safe for work. Probably
Yes.
not safe. Definitely not safe for kids.
Not
So
safe for
don't
anybody.
not safe for anyone. So, um, I this I I don't even know. I don't even know how to break this apart because I watched VHS and I came away from VHS pretty in the words of Larry David, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good,
You're talking the first one.
The first one. This one, that's a different story. And I don't want to poo-poo all over it, but guess what, guys? I'm probably going to poo-poo all over this thing tonight. But this first film, I mean, it was all right. Here's the problem you have to go into, and I wasn't sure all the short films were going to be this way or not, but this one, I feel like the whole idea of the ocular implant was just like, well, we got to have a plot device that explains why we have a first-person camera
Yeah, they all have that.
for this.
Or
So,
a
and
camera
yeah,
of some sort.
so that's how all these films are, first-person view, which I kind of wish they all weren't. That's that kind of. But again, I'm gonna have tangent. So I like that idea, like the whole. This is why he has an implant. This is the thing, so you can experience things his way. But beyond that, there wasn't really much I liked about this.
No.
The story was kind of predictable. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, they're about 20 minutes long, I think.
No,
Roughly,
well,
and
one was a lot longer than the other one.
almost a little longer. So you don't have a whole lot there that you can do with. So you got to kind of really rush it along. But it kind of relied on some music and not even jump scares, but just quick pans up and all of a sudden there's a ghost. Oh my god! And then we have a female character thrown in there for no other reason to show her boobs and have some quick first person sex scene.
I wrote,
and then
they have to have sex to keep the ghosts away, and also
oh my god, yes. She's like, don't worry, I know how to make them go away. Come here, look at me.
Stare at my tits.
Oh my god, I mean, it's just like, this was what, 2013. So I think
Can I just say no one would sleep with a guy who has facial hair that looked like that? Oh my god.
He looked like a combination of between Chris Hardwick and the guy that plays what's his name in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The wild card. I can't think of his name or his character's name or his name, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
He was in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, wild card, bitches, woo! I mean, it didn't do anything for me. It was, I don't, Lucas, please.
I have more notes if you want me to take.
Please, because I don't know. I love it how this guy, like, he has to have money because he's got this ocular implant, and he walks up to his villa up in the hills.
Oh my
he's
god!
Got this whole, with his infinity pool, and he has to open a door, and then you have a courtyard, and then your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had, I don't know. It
just seemed weird.
Please help me.
It's probably because it was a porn house and they got it for cheap. Seriously, I bet that's probably what it was. Yeah, so the makeup on the ghosts, first of all, looked freaking awful. So
Yeah.
bad.
There was only one good ghost, and that was like the fat, half naked uncle that was like puking up on himself outside the door.
And that
He
was
was
just
the
because
only
he's
cool
naked.
one. Yeah. The rest were like,
They just look.
stereotypical little girl in a dress,
They
and
had like
then
white face makeup on with
mhm,
like black circles under their eyes.
weird crawling one.
There's always got to
Here's a
be
gift
somebody
for you,
crawling.
Ribo.
Um, um, why does running into another room keep the ghosts away?
Into the bathroom. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're not gonna like.
they're
I
not just gonna walk through the door. They're ghosts. That's how ghosts work.
no.
It's
And the whole
understood.
like, she tells him too, like, if you rip it out, they're still gonna be there. And then he's like, no, I gotta kick it out. And I just,
I'm gonna have to take it out.
and this is one of the ones I was a little higher on
Oh
compared to the
wow.
other. If
Okay.
this tells you anything.
Interesting. Um, also, you bring up another point I had. If they're always there, no matter what, no matter if you can hear them or you can see them or whatever it is, because apparently everyone
Yeah.
has a super. I hear them. I see them. I feel them. That's the next one's superpower.
That kind of reminds me of what's that old movie? Not old movie, but older movie, 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Where like they're always there, and you can't. Yeah, and they have the glass house or whatever, right?
Yep. Wouldn't they be getting ghost murdered all the time? Because if they're there,
Yeah.
regardless if you can hear them or see them, then they can still affect you. Like if I can take my eye out and I can't see them anymore, shouldn't and I can't see them anymore, and they'll still be there and they'll still kill me because that's what happened to him. Wouldn't none of us be safe then?
Yeah.
I don't understand why that makes a difference. The acting was terrible. That guy was just
Yeah.
awful. Like when he was on the phone and was asking when he can get it removed, he's like, "Well, when can I get this removed?" All right, well, okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to.
When
come
he
in
had,
or
when
whatever.
when he was stuck like carrying the scene solo and no one else to
Yes.
play off, yeah,
He's
it
like,
showed.
"Oh, I'm so mad."
I mean,
It's just bad, so bad. Those were my notes. I
Yeah.
hated it. Oh, terrible start.
yeah. Do we want to go through all our some of our bits and pieces here? I mean, is there a way they could have fixed this one? I mean,
Oh,
would something have made this better?
ooh, that's a good question, actually. I mean, it would have had to been a total rewrite. There's too much
I
here.
mean,
It's
I
a
like
decent idea.
Yeah, I like the idea of having an implant, and then I see weird stuff. But then it was just like your typical. My house is haunted. I'm not going to make it through the night. What do I do?
Well, in the short
see dead people. I mean, I just
the short story format doesn't. There was too much here. Like you just don't have enough time. You have this girl who just shows up and's like, "I know, I have an implant too." It's just how'd she track him down? What? It would have been more scary to me, I guess, if he didn't know why he was suddenly seeing them until he found out it was because of the eye.
Yeah, I just
It
I don't know.
doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't. It
Something
didn't do
here doesn't
anything.
add up.
What I don't like about these two is they all end on this weird, like, usually a negative cliffhanging moment. For the
Yeah.
most part, and
Like a gotcha moment or something.
yeah, and I think that's dumb. Well, let's go to our next film. Now, this is the one I think this is the absolute worst.
Yes,
of the
I
bunch. This is
agree.
the absolute worst. This guy's out. First of all, we're agreeing with the cheesiest, the worst. Well, let me get the synopsis first. Sorry. Man goes mountain biking into a zombie apocalypse. You won't believe what happens next.
I like that they all are. You won't believe what happens
That's
next.
how I set it up. So again, he's got his GoPro on top of his helmet because we got to get that FPS view. Somehow he had a camera like on his handlebars up at his face too, but
As
we're
we all
treated
do.
to some fantastic writing when he gets a call from his girlfriend and she's
Hey,
like,
babe.
"Oh, you ride that bike more than you ride me."
Oh my god, yes, that was bad.
And he's like, "Yeah, I do." It's like I feel like this is like what something that, like, if I was 22, I'd be like this, or like, no, not even 22. Let's give us less credit. If I was 17, I'd be like,
19,
yeah. So I feel like this is like some fresh out of film school guys are like, yeah, now we got a chance to write all this cool stuff.
They wouldn't let me write this in film school, but I can
So-
do whatever I want now.
I didn't think we were going to get zombies. And then as soon as that first girl comes up and she starts like vomiting, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a little zombie one. And then I see him stumbling. I'm like, I got excited. Then I saw the zombies, and I was like, again, this looked like film school zombies, like George Romero in 1960s Night of the Living Dead with better looking zombies.
I think part of it's because they're using GoPros and stuff, so all the makeup really just doesn't translate well.
Well, they would have done better if they didn't try to do like the intestines hanging, because it looked terrible.
They're balloons.
And at first, when I thought, oh wow, we're gonna see this guy as a zombie first person, I thought that's kind of a cool idea because I haven't seen that yet. But then in the execution, it just wasn't entertaining. For example, we watch him die, and we watch him lay there for I don't know how many seconds. Then watch him slowly reanimate, and it took forever. And you're as the viewer, you're just like watching the horizon while he's like, and
then
see his all you can see is his hand. And then some people show up, and then he kills them. And now, sadly, I thought
it looks like
when
a
they were
bite.
when the little kid's birthday party, I was like, oh, now it's getting interesting. But then like the ineptitude of the people like getting attacked. This one guy had a shotgun, and he still managed to get killed, or a hunting rifle at least. I mean, it was I skipped ahead through sections of this because I was just like,
well, you didn't miss much because you've said everything that were the highlights.
It was bad. It was just bad. The zombies were just, I couldn't, it looked like someone filmed this like as a hobby. I think could do just as well. I mean,
yeah,
I think
shot
if
it
you,
within a day for sure.
I think if you and Mike recruited some people, you could pull off something better.
See, here's the thing about this, especially this type of film. In this particular instance, and probably in tape 1 too, they don't realize that they don't have something here, like with the zombies. Like the zombies don't look good, so you don't show the zombies as much. You know what I mean? Like in Jaws, when it looked like a robot shark,
that's
they
true.
just cut
that's
around
true.
it.
Yep, so, that's true. That's a good point.
But these people think, well, we spent $50 on makeup. We better show it on camera because otherwise it's lost money.
And then we're like, he's like a zombie, but he's still himself because he like gets into trance looking at his reflection. He butt dials his girlfriend somehow, and then he has the awareness to take the shotgun and kill himself.
Yeah, that was stupid. That part was the worst by far.
Yeah.
Like, oh, suddenly a zombie has a soul and remembers where he came from, and now he's going to kill himself because of all the atrocities he's committed. No, that's not what a zombie is, you dummy.
Yeah. So, again, the idea, first-person zombie, interesting. Execution, it just falls flat, and at least how it was presented. I think that idea is something that you could really do something with, and unfortunately here, it just didn't work. So I think what it would have done better is, I'm sure they had a budget, maybe, but better zombie effects. Or just not something else to show them if you can't afford the effects, and it just I don't even know if it can be improved.
I don't Another note I had was, why the hell did he leave his bike when he got attacked? He runs into the forest instead of hopping onto his bike and riding away.
Yeah, I don't.
That clearly would have been a lot faster.
I don't know, man. It's I think it really suffers because it's shoehorned into a short film, short story. So you're really limited. And I guess they thought they could run with this story, and I think it still it didn't work. Didn't work. So, film number 3.
Yes, I'm curious to see what you think about this.
I don't know what city or what country it's set in, but camera crew goes to interview cult leader and get a firsthand look at his cult. You won't believe what happens next. This, I think, is the most successful in terms of story.
Yeah, this one was my favorite.
But it still sucks.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's no... Definitely, I'm saying that my favorite piece of poop out of all the turds. So
yeah. So there's a film crew. The main guy, the lead, probably the director who's also doing the interviewing. They have a lead camera guy, another sound guy, and then this chick. I'm not really sure what her position was, and she has
Producer.
a camera. She has a camera on her button, like a hidden camera. And they like didn't you notice that oddly when they like filmed her at the beginning because they like zoomed in on her chest to see not in a exploitive way whatsoever, but just the button
see
to
if the
see if they
button
can
worked,
notice it.
yeah.
And she was like holding her stomach. And I thought like that's really weird. But then after you watch, you know what happens in the story. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, then now it makes sense why that happens. But just really weird. So it's all this one is mostly in subtitled because the crew speaks English to one another, but the guy that the cult leader is I don't know. I'm not sure what language he was speaking, but it took him forever to say the lines. So like you sit there and read the subtitles
he
and then
speaks
and then you
slowly,
wait
you're saying?
and then you wait. Yes. And it really was dragging for me. But okay. So typical cult leader, he's going to deliver them to the promised land. He has a bunch of women that it's implied that you don't want to know what he's doing with
And children.
and variety of ages. There's 20 kids there. They're going to some classroom setting. Da 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 da. They get up. They're interviewing him in what appears to be his office. And we noticed before that they show you some security cam footage of all the rooms, and he's like cutting himself with a razor blade.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, which is really weird. During the interview, we have to separate the cast. So the female starts getting sick, so she goes to find a bathroom. Battery runs dead on the camera, so I don't know why the director goes to get the battery. You would think you would send
Well, the
one
camera
of the crew.
or the producer got sick, so she left.
Yeah.
And then the guy went to get the battery. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess it was the director. You're right.
Send that camera schlub that didn't pack the battery to go get the battery because he effed up in the first place.
Yeah.
You know?
Or no, he was the sound guy, the guy that was left.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way,
they were all doing different jobs. But
And then they all get separated, and that's what all goes to shit. We realized that the producer and the director are a thing, but she's pregnant with the other guy's
That's why
kid.
he went to get the battery so that could happen because they
Yeah,
had to write it in that way.
Exactly. And then they have this infatuation with the girl, and then it's apparent it's going to be a suicide cult, and everything goes crazy. The dude, I just love the line. I like when he's like, "Don't interrupt me. Stop interrupting me," because he's giving this big speech as everyone's going to drink the Kool-Aid. And then the one guy keeps talking to him, interrupt him, and he's pissing him off. And then he does it again. So the guy leaps over the desk and stabs him in the throat with a
I'm sorry,
razor
but
blade.
this guy is like tiny. He probably weighs like 130 pounds.
And that dude looked pretty physically built. I would think he could fight him off. But I think the power of Satan gave him the strength. Yeah, gave him the compelling strength to assault his victim.
That's probably true.
I think the coolest scene that this leads up to, though, is when the guy comes back in and he's in that lobby area and there's all those dudes holding guns to their head.
Yeah.
Because that was just like, what is going on? And they all execute themselves simultaneously. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was a good way to introduce like the maelstrom of death.
Yeah. And then we go straight into Dead Space territory when the guy stumbles into this like a meat locker, is what I'm going to call it, because there's blood smeared everywhere. There's the plastic flaps like you see at any grocery delivery.
Yeah.
And there's this what we think is a corpse propped up in like delivery position on a bed, and there's blood everywhere. And eventually she like comes to life and the sheet comes off and she's like completely like broken in half, like something escaped from her body and like ripped her apart in the process. And it just gets darker and twistier. The dude gets like covered in blood. Everyone dies except the one dude. And eventually, basically, like what? It was like some demon, goat horn winged demon god rips out of the producer's body.
Yeah.
And it's
the size of a full man.
The size of a full man climbing out of a woman's stomach. And then
it looked okay. Everything up until this point looked okay. The only negative I have about any of the makeup was the head. It was clearly somebody wearing a fake head
a
of this
Dollar
deer
General
thing,
head.
but the problem was the neck was like where your face and head would be,
And
then
it was very elongated.
yeah, it was
Yes.
like too tall.
Josh
So it
says,
just
would you say in reference to the one dude, he never died?
he,
Correct.
he never did die.
So he's like trying to escape the goat demon, and then like everyone's now a zombie apparently as well. And he gets into his car and starts driving away, and then the goat demon rams him over, and then proudly proclaims, "Papa," because it recognizes him as his father. And then we got some great. I captured the moment for you, Lucas, and sent you the screenshot.
Yes, you
some
did.
great Blair Witch moment is this guy's like bleeding and drooling and snotting into the camera. He's got this big snot loogie flinging from his nostril. And it's just
I'm gonna save that to my porn folder.
as I probably needlessly went through this whole thing story beat by story beat, but I think it's important because in terms of story, this one was the most successful, the most compelling.
Yes.
You know, because
Yes.
I think that whole setting, like being like a whole cult thing, is always very just weird and creepy anyway. And then they have this whole. You thought it was going to be like, I guess, more on the good side of religion, and then it's obviously satanic in nature or demonic in nature. Everyone executed themselves, but then they all came back as these weird zombie-like variants of themselves.
Yeah, they definitely looked almost like ghosts and zombies put together.
So I think in terms of a story, this was the best story. You had this weird plot twist with the love triangle that took place. You had the pregnancy. You had the worst part is the demon itself. That was, the worst part about it. But
yeah,
it was I don't know. It was all right though.
And this
one
was the one that I thought was the longest one out of all of them.
Yeah, I think this one was probably about 35 minutes.
Yeah,
so.
I would say that's right.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, other than I thought this was the best one.
Yeah,
the acting was all right compared to the rest of them, especially.
Yeah, it's hard too, especially when it's in a foreign language. It's hard for me, at least in those situations, to like decipher anything. But it seemed to work okay.
Yeah. I actually had a hard time hearing most of everything people were saying, so to have it subtitled was kind of nice. Actually.
Yeah, and if you watch the trailer feed VHS too, I'm pretty sure you see the cult leader all covered in blood because he's like a tiny little
naked man
guy, and he's all like naked, and he's got blood all over him.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's from the trailer.
Yeah, and now we're set up with our last story. Kid's parents leave town. Girlfriend has boyfriend over. Some funny shenanigans ensue, and then aliens show up. You won't believe what happens next. I'm not saying it's aliens, but aliens.
Oh my God. I wrote that in my notes. What you just said, I wrote in my notes.
I mean, this one had an interesting lead up. It had a kind of interesting lead up. The kids pulling pranks, like effing with their older sister and his boyfriend, getting them pissed off.
Wait. Before we go any further, can I just say, because we're going to get into this after this one, why did the guy outside of this story, why did he watch this tape? Because remember, he comes in and there's a note that says, watch the next tape or whatever.
Yeah.
Why did he watch this tape? I would have ran.
Because Lucas, the plot would not develop otherwise.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that. It's all about convenience.
Right.
All right. Please continue.
So that setup was interesting, and then there was like some weird, like loud noises and shaking, and you're like, something's going on. Reminded me of Cloverfield almost a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we get stuck with like, if we probably saw these in a still shot, a really bad, your typical gray, as they're called, alien costumes, which would probably look terrible, but they're clearly like trying to abduct them, which I thought was working at first. And most of this film at that point, there's a GoPro essentially attached to the dog.
Yeah.
So you see,
I think it was the parents so that they could spy on the kids without them knowing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because that was like the whole trick. Like the kid, like, oh no, how it happened is because the younger kids were like spying on their sister, and her boyfriend are like starting to make out, leading to sex, and they like, which I thought was hilarious. They like run into a room and they have all these strobe lights and like rave music, and they start having like a rave in their room. It pisses off. So then to get back at them, like the younger kids were all sleeping, and one of them was up masturbating to porn,
Oh yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
caught him, and then they put the camera on the dog and sent him in there to get revenge on it. So that's how the dog had the GoPro. You needed that setup, guys. You absolutely needed that setup. And really, the rest of the film is the kids trying to escape from the aliens,
Which was
and
easy because all of the aliens, when they show up and they're trying to catch all the kids, instead of catching them, they're too busy making poses and going in the background instead of actually trying
like
to
the
get
putties from Power Rangers.
Yes, exactly.
Here's
like
what I don't
that.
get. Like at first, they dragged them out into the water, but then how did they escape? Like how did they all of a sudden the aliens were gone and the kids escaped?
Yeah, they were like,
You
just kidding.
and then the chase happens again. And I'm sorry, and I'm just gonna. This might offend lighthearted people because it really did upset me. And if this was the first story, I told Lucas, if this was the first story, I wouldn't have watched the rest of the film. And because I'm going to put this out there for people because I think it's important if it would affect you. I know it's not real, but it still upsets me. The last scene, the youngest brothers who's left with the dog, and he's hiding in the upstairs of a barn. And then, much like any alien abduction, Blair Witch stuff, the whole barn just like rips apart as they assuming like a tractor beam or something, they rip him up into the sky. And as he's flying up in the air, he's got a hold of the dog holding on to him, and then the dog is ripped from his arms, and you get to watch as the dog free falls and then lands on the ground. And then the camera stops with looking at the dog
Like
as it's
it fell off the
whimpering,
collar or whatever.
and dying. So they kill a dog at the end of this one, and that I know it's not real, but it still just makes me feel I feel like I'm visibly warm and I'm upset talking about it. I don't
That's
care for
so
that,
weird.
and it really upsets me. And so at that point, I was like, already at this point, I was like, I couldn't wait for this to be over. This entire prior to this, during the film number 2, I was like, I can't wait for this to be done. I can't wait to get. And then after this, I was like, fuck this movie.
As soon as I started it, I was like, we're in trouble.
I was like, I was like, I hated it. I hated it. I don't like it. I know I don't like it. Hated it.
I wish we would have watched. Like I said, I'm gonna watch Baskin so I can see what could have been. I mean, we might have been just as bad, in just as bad a shape. So
some interesting twists here. I mean, what they could have done for me? Don't kill the dog. That's would have improved it for me.
Never kill dogs. You can kill as many humans as you want.
You didn't kill any of the kids in the zombie movie. All the kids got away.
That's true. All the dogs too.
I mean, it's again stereotypical, basic gray alien, weird, slowly coming at them, and the whole time they're out in the darkness, their only light is a strobe light. How convenient.
Yeah.
So then you get weird alien coming at you slow and funky, and it just it sucked, man. It sucked.
It did suck.
They brought me up a little bit with the cult story, and then brought me back down with this one, and I was just like, nope. Didn't like it. So hate you all. So those are our 4 separate films. And now, loosely attracting them all, we have to have a reason that these films are being watched. There was much like in the first film. So at the very beginning of the movie, we're introduced to this guy filming this hotel, this couple that comes into this hotel room clearly to have sex, which first, like 30 seconds in the movie, boobs.
That was my a note that I had, but at least there was also dick immediately too.
Oh yeah. They didn't discriminate. There is dong too, and then he's chased because this guy's sees this pervert filming him, gets in the car and takes off. Where he has his girl. I don't know, was his girlfriend or partner? What he was?
It's not his girlfriend because he treats her like shit.
Yeah, apparently there's some sort of private investigator, I guess. So he's probably trying to get dirt on people. I don't know. And then they drive to this abandoned house. I'm not sure why.
I don't know. I
couldn't
went to
figure that
out either.
Yeah.
Something about some cousin or I think it was another job and they couldn't find this kid or something.
Yeah. So he breaks into this house and there's random TV setup, films everywhere, VHS tapes, monitors, and there's static on the screen. So you get a lot of white noise. He goes to explore, tells the girl to start checking out his computer. So she's cloning his hard drive and she sees these tapes. So she starts watching them. So the first tape she puts in is the first story. And then and you knew by the camera angle, right? That something was
Yeah.
going to appear in the doorway
Here, let
behind
me
her. And
put
sure
this
enough,
down so that it's pointing behind me and you
yeah,
can see down a long hallway.
yeah, and sure enough, like somebody shuffles into the door frame right before the one film starts. So she watches the first film. He comes back to check on her. All of a sudden, she has a bloody nose. She's kind of like entranced by the film. He finds like a journal. There's also like this guy had done a diary cam, was kind of explaining what he was doing. She watches the second film, and then excuse me, she watches the second film, right, and then
No, the second
no,
film is when she had the bloody nose.
second film is when after the second film she had a bloody nose. He comes to check
I
on
felt
her.
like I did too. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh,
After
this is
this,
ruining
after
me.
she watches the third film, she like collapses, and he
Yep.
comes to find her, and she's like unresponsive, and he sees the tape that says "Watch me." So he watches the fourth
He's like,
film.
okay, I won't just leave.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she shot
Watches-
herself. He was gone.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, because when he was looking for medicine in her purse, it showed she had a little like snub nose pistol.
I did see. There's. Oh, okay. I missed that. I did see the blood
You
on her
don't
head.
see her
now,
shoot herself though. That's probably why you didn't know.
Okay,
that
because
happened.
I missed. I must have looked away because I missed that, and then I saw when he had the gun later. I was like, where did he get a gun from? Okay, so now it makes sense. So
You
she
were like,
killed
this
herself.
movie, it probably did just come out of nowhere.
Right. He watches the fourth film, and then it like keeps running. The film keeps running, and he watches the fourth film, and then he starts watching the diary, and he sees the guy talk about it. He's like, well, now it's time for me to make my own film, and he takes a pistol, shoots himself underneath the chin, kills himself, and then all of a sudden you see him get back up.
He failed.
His
yeah.
his mouth's all blown open. He gets back up, and you see him walk out into the doorway behind him and disappear. A couple seconds go by, and they come into the scene. So the moment his execution happened moments before they came into the house. So he's still in the house somewhere. Then all of a sudden she comes back to life, and she's all like the Ring, walking on her arms, all bent,
Ugh,
spider-like, creeping around.
I've seen enough
He
of that.
He goes, hides in the closet, kills her, and then there's something in there, and mouth guy is in there. He strangles them, and then gives the camera a thumbs up, and the movie
I
ends.
did it, you guys! I made my own video.
So
It
it's
reminded
just
me of World of Warcraft when you pick the undead, and there's like one that.
Oh my god, yes, because he has like that super
Dumb
exaggerated tongue hanging out. Yes, totally. It was just like a weird, like a dumb reason to have the stories connected. Like the VHS 1 did something very similar, but it didn't like, I don't know, it didn't like, this just seems weird.
Forced.
Like how,
It was like
why
forced.
are forced, and like why was she a zombie? Why is he still alive after why does he want to kill people after he,
Yeah,
you
they
know?
don't explain
It's
that
just-
there's. It's called like the magic of the world, and they don't explain that there's any of this that exists. I guess if you assume all of these other things were filmed in this world, then you know that zombies exist or whatever. But that's lending way too much
yeah.
to this film that it doesn't deserve.
No surprise. Oh, go ahead.
I felt like I was watching a bunch of student films, like for real.
Yeah, totally.
That's exactly what it felt.
This was a big step backwards for me from VHS. I mean, VHS had its weird stuff, you know, like the whole girl that's like a weird demon, but she gives the guy a blowjob, and then she eats everybody.
Yeah, it's always
like,
been
you know,
kind of
it's always
shocking.
like weirdly sexual, very shocking. And this was just like, it's just bad. I mean, no surprise here. I'm just going to get right to it. I don't recommend this. This is probably one of the worst movies we've watched in a long time.
Yeah,
I know
I
if
agree.
I'm sitting here and going, oh my god, is this done yet? And I mean, I'm actually skipping through stuff because it was boring to watch some of this story.
This was worse than He Never Died, and I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather watch
This-
Gallow Walkers again.
Yeah, totally, Josh. You don't have the worst film anymore. This
Thankfully,
just was like,
Our
actually,
audience picked it, so
I
that's
Frankenstein is probably the worst. Actually, it
worse. I
just
forgot
it
about
was
that one.
not good at all. I can't. Don't waste your time.
No,
It's
never.
I like we were excited about it because like the whole anthology idea, and if they're good, you get a bunch of rapid fire stories that keep it fresh. It's easy to stay invested because we all have ADHD. We easily distracted, so that's like, oh, something happening, story beats left and right. You're gonna be able to progress through it. No, it's bad. It's so bad, and they killed the dog. Fuck them. Fuck this movie. It sucked.
It's true. I want the they could have used the $25 that they put into the budget of all of these films and just, I don't know, bought VHS 1 again or something. I would have watched.
Usually equal representation of boob and dong will get you a thumbs up in my book, but
That's
not
true.
even that could save this movie.
That's true. That's true.
It was just bad.
I hated it.
It's so bad.
It was awful.
Bad.
Bad all
Bad.
around.
And we even say we almost didn't even get to watch it because it did get pulled. Both of our movies got
right.
pulled from Netflix.
That's right.
But so we had to watch these on Hulu just to watch it. And
which was bad as well, but for other reasons.
Yeah. The fact that all the stories had the first person shaky cam, and it just you have to force plot elements in there to incorporate that, and it would have been one thing if only like the one that makes the most sense, the guy with the implant, if that was the only movie that did it, but all of them did it, and I don't remember if VHS was like that or not. I can't remember.
I think it was.
I think it was too, and it's just I don't. No thanks.
Ugh. Well, can we wash ourselves of this mess?
Yeah. Dan Anthony picked an OC remix for us.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay, good.
He did. So we're gonna play that now. We're gonna get away from Netflixation. So yeah, it's a big double thumbs down from us. Don't waste your time on this. I mean, Donnie, you like, and this is even scary, Donnie. So I mean, you like the horror genre, but I don't even think.
If anyone likes this movie who's listening, I need you to talk to me and defend why you could possibly like this film. And just saying, I don't know, I just don't think it's that bad. That's not a defense as to why you like it.
And there were some boobs, you know. Like,
yeah. I don't know, man. It just gets me in the Halloween mood. No,
hey, man,
it's bad. You deserve better than this. Okay, don't bring yourself down to this movie's shiteness. Watch good movies. Rewatch old good movies that are scary. I don't care. Just don't watch this one.
I don't care. Just do it. Just get it done.
Just do it. I need to know what
treat the animal with respect.
I need to know what this OC remix is so I can download it.
Well, he got the. It's called Evenimation.
Oh,
so
sorry.
It's a Snake Man.
I just saw Twitter and I was like, oh, the community grab bag.
let me just make sure we haven't played this because we have played a few. From Mega Man 3. I don't think we have, but for the sake of being, legit. Too
legit to quit, or
yeah. So our last remix for Mega Man 3 was also Snake Man, but I don't care. It's a good theme. So.
Well, this is a good example of how you can hear the same song, but it sounds fairly different because it's from a different.
And it's a new song, so it very likely could have came up in our random selection because it came out on Halloween.
Oh, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yep. So if you need to find the file, it's right there on the front page.
I already got it.
Oh, cool. And then, as always, this was suggested by listener Dan Anthony. We love Dan. We'll talk about Dan a lot. So if you want to have a remix, if you suggest one to us, we'll probably play it because we like to feature the remixes that you, the listeners, give to us. So this is coming from Mega Man 3. It's called Evenimation. It's by Yoshi Blade. Of course, coming from Mega Man 3, released by Capcom, 1990 on the NES. This is Snake Man stage. It's EDM. It's house. It's energetic. It's funky. It's 5.5 minutes of fun.
Oh, damn.
So it's a little longer, but since it's Snake Man, I'll allow it. And it's on a OC Remix album, Candy Corn 3, direct to video. The Candy Corn albums are horror, Halloween themed in nature. And this is the third one, so you can check those out if you like. And as always, you can find this remix and many, many more at ocremix.org. We're going to step back. We're going to play the remix. We're going to recharge from talking about a very horrible Netflixation that you'll never, ever subject yourselves to because you take what Lucas and I very literally. We are the premier movie reviewing enthusiasts on the Fluxtaposed podcast. So our word is law. How much more time do you need me to fill here, Lucas?
I was going to say, you're doing a really good job, actually. Hopefully not much longer. Okay, I got it there.
So we're going to play this remix. We're going to step back, recharge. We'll come back, do some what you playing.
Wow.
And then we'll end the show. So thanks for hanging out. Don't go away. You won't believe what happens next. I believe it. I believe it. I'm gonna play the song now.
I'm gonna play it now. We're done. That's done.
We're done. Woo!
Sorry, we were
Yeah.
talking about marijuana legalization.
You're watching the election results. I like Snake Man's theme, but man, na 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 na
Reminds me of how they used to be
and over and
back
over.
when it first, like back in like 2008.
Yeah, all the old Mega Man remixes I used to listen to. Yeah, I mean, I like Snake Man's theme. Don't get me wrong, but I much prefer the last one with that metal mix. It's just I need you to do something a little more than just keep looping the same theme.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like all of our proposals are going to go through. All right. Well, go Michigan
Go
voters.
Michigan.
Pure Michigan green.
That's right.
That's our new slogan.
You got to go buy stocks into the marijuana companies. I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before Marlboro is selling marijuana cigarettes.
Your mom's old neighbor is going to be pumped.
No, he'll probably be like, damn, government stepping in, regulating things that don't need to be regulated. I don't know why he turned into, we're going to regulate the government. Oh, yeah. God, it killed me. But it was worth it.
Speaking of being killed, how about we talk some what you plan?
Oh.
Wait for it.
It kind of was there, but kind of. You probably didn't even hear it.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, I played it. I don't know if it went through because that's the kind of night we're having.
You're going to have to edit everything in post. I love it. This is going to be fun.
Can I edit us in post to make us sound good?
Yeah, you just delete this episode and never post it.
That sounds good to me.
That sounds good to me. Lucas, I've been playing a few things, man.
Okay.
Diablo 3 came out on the Nintendo Switch
It did.
this past week, and I've been playing that. And I haven't played Diablo 3 in probably about 5 years.
Same.
So it's been interesting what I remember and don't remember from the game. And I never had any of the expansion content, so everything from Reaper of Souls is all new to me. And it feels like they really streamlined the game. And I feel like it's very easy, to power level.
Yeah,
like
I
before,
agree.
I think by the time you actually finish the campaign, I feel like you might be at level 30. And then you'd have to play it again to get to like level 50, 40, and then play it again on hell difficulty, and then maybe you could max out. Now it's not the case. I mean, like, I don't know. Well, you're playing on PC, so you haven't experienced any of it. But man, like the adventure content, like I was playing with Tom Servo on launch, and he's much higher level than me, so it boosts my stats so I can run with him. And I gained 10 levels in 30 minutes.
Damn.
So I'm at levels. I have one character that's level 30 after only a couple hours, and then I have a level 61, 62 is my other character. I have a necromancer and a crusader because those are the DLC classes I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But what blows my mind is after I was kind of high level, I went back and I'm playing on normal good difficulty just to power through the campaign, and I'm getting crazy drops like that were better than some of the other items that I was getting playing on harder difficulties. It's just really weird. But I have to say, playing with the controller after always playing this with a mouse and keyboard, I love it. I love being able to play the controller. I haven't been able to move with the left stick. Feels so nice. I have my right trigger bound to my main attack. So I just hold down right trigger to attack, use the buttons for my skills.
I might have to give that a try.
Yeah, the hardest part is like there's always so much going on. I don't ever like swap items out in my inventory or reassign skills as I unlock runes and things of that nature. But it's just been fun to play Diablo again. It's fun to see people that haven't ever played, like Callow. I don't think had ever played Diablo. Tom Servo hadn't played since Diablo 1. I don't know if Skinny Matt will ever play Diablo, but he never has. He has the game. I don't know if he'll ever play it, but there's a lot of people that never got to experience Diablo, so it's kind of fun to watch other people play it. Playing on the Switch has been no issues. I haven't had any problems playing on handheld. It is a battery eater. It like drains your battery pretty fast.
Weird.
But performance-wise, no issues. I know some people talked about playing on the small screen. There's too much going on. It's not a big deal. It's not a problem. But connections haven't been a problem. I've been able to drop in and out of people just fine. It makes it really easy to just drop in, play a few runs, and drop out. I think it'll be a good lunchtime game moving forward because I can drop in, do some rift runs in adventure mode, and then be done. So I think I'll finish the campaign with this one character just to say that I have, and then I'm just gonna putz around and play with people and it's just fun to group up and kill a bunch of stuff and put it down.
For sure.
What's the PC? You and Josh have been playing it on PC. He says that you guys were level 30 at the end of Act 1. So apparently my memories doesn't serve me too well on level progression in the game. But to be fair, also Josh, you guys are playing on an updated version of the game and not the version that I remember playing 6 years ago. So my story might still be right.
It's still, I mean, it's super easy. Honestly, we switched to hard, and it's not really that difficult until you get a swarm of enemies who are all hitting like the same person all at once.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing a barb, and he's a whiz.
Nice.
And so I'm going that tank. I'm living that tank life, bro. And
that's always the worst thing about Diablos. Like when you get an enemy that either does damage reflect or has like lightning enhance. So when you hit them, like chain lightning shoots out.
Yeah. Those are there's like similar things where they'll do like earthquake or fire or something. Any of those area of effects really suck.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I always hate those little ice barbs that they shoot out and then they freeze you in place if you don't roll out of the AoE.
Yeah, I even said to Josh, I was like, is this on easy mode or something? Because this is way easier than I remember. So it'll be interesting to see how it changes after Act 1. But
yeah,
I don't remember.
I love that they made that change. And I know this is always the case with Diablo 3. I love how you don't have to buy potions.
Yeah,
like your health potions are just you get the health orbs or your health potion has a cooldown. What is how does your mana work? Josh, you might have typed it in the chat because before I remember usually you always get skills to give you a good mana recharge or stuff like that. But I mean, you don't have mana potions, so how did for instance, like playing as a Crusader, I'm sure it works much like the Barbarian. As I do attacks, I build up my meter to use my skills. So how does that? I'm interested to see how that works now with a magic class like a wizard, where you're using mana to cast your spells. But how do you recharge your mana after that? That's my question. Also, the Necromancer is freaking sweet, and I didn't realize it until like I played with someone else that had summons, because all of a sudden I had 10 skeletons following me around. In Diablo 2, they were all on the screen, but in Diablo 3, for me, I see them. But if I'm playing with, let's say I'm playing with you, Lucas, and you had 10 skeletons, they're transparent, so they don't. I don't see them very well.
They're not part of the mess of stuff that's
on
your...
So it's kind of a nice little UI touch.
That's cool. He says for a wizard it just refreshes the whole always. So
okay.
I guess you just alter how much refreshing. Well, I guess it's no different than health, because as a barbarian you have like a recovery of a certain amount.
Yeah.
So
I think I remember when I last played Diablo 3, I had a monk was my main class. I had a wizard. I think I had a little bunch of everything, but I definitely never really touched the witch doctor. So that might be a class I tool around with. I think I'll probably make a barbarian as well. But I mean, it's so easy to level up. I can just easily roll a new character. Plus, I'm playing the seasons mode, which I don't know if seasons are available.
They're available, but I can't do anything. I learned that
because it needs adventure mode.
Yeah,
which so that's kind of cool to try to hit though. Well, it's either you pay $20 or you pay 60.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I mean, at this point, if we beat the game, which I'm sure we will, I'd be in it for 20. It might go on sale soon too.
I mean, it really depends on who you want to be able to play with. I mean, because eventually, if you wait, it's going to go on sale on Switch.
That's true. That's true as well. And by then, as we have said, I'm sure we'll have plenty of other things.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm playing it on PC is because everybody was talking
Everyone
about
else is
it.
Playing it.
And I'm trying to, alleviate FOMO. So
I have to say, being able to play on the Switch is really nice, because the worst part about Diablo is when you're doing a big fetch quest and you might not have found a waypoint. So you have to stop and have to redo all the randomness to find one again. But now you can just put it in sleep mode, pick it back up. You're right there.
That is
progress
nice.
A little further. So that's really nice to jump in and out of. And that's actually there's one other game. I reviewed it for PSVG, which is what just went up on YouTube today. It's called Skyscrapers. It's a party game, really. You play it's local multiplayer. You can play it against bots. It's not fun. Don't do that. Local multiplayer, 1 to 4 players, and it's basically you can play it
local
nice
only.
Touch. local only, no online.
Ugh.
You can play the Switch in vertical mode and play it that way if you want to. But the whole object
Ugh.
is you have 4 people and you're racing up the top of a building by jumping. It's like the building's falling down, so there's debris falling from above, so you can run up pieces of it and jump higher. And so if you get to the top first, you win, or if you kill your opponents, because you have some attacks and some special moves to fight as you're ascending the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds kind of cool, but the combat's kind of bland and repetitive. And really, if to beat the CPU, I just ignored them and just focused on climbing and jumping, and I would win. it just got old fast. It just, I can't even if you had like people to play with, I don't think I can really recommend it. It just kind of lackluster in that regards. And then I could have swore we were watching something else, but then we just been watching Queer Eye. We're in season 2. It's fun. I really like that show. It's a fun show.
Never watched it.
I never watched the original, but I like what they do. Like they do, because like there's 5 guys, so they each have like their own, because they have the person that they make over, shall we say, is nominated by a family member or a friend or anything, and they each bring something specific to the table. Like one guy, because they not only do they revamp this person, they give them life tips, like they revamp their wardrobe, but they usually remodel part of their living situation. They like remodel their home or apartment, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Give like, because the one guy deals with that whole home improvement side of things. One guy does the fashion. One guy does culinary, so helps them work on cooking and things like that. One guy, his whole thing was, I mean, it's more like, I can't remember what it says on the show, but his is more like, gets more into like your swagger and like more of that personal touch,
like
of
an attitude or
your attitude and things like that. And the other guy is grooming. So it's really interesting, especially like it's amazing what a haircut will do to just change the whole way like someone looks, So
yeah,
it's
are you picking up some? Are you picking up some tips?
It does make me think more about what I wear and things like that, because I actually at the same time I've been like at work trying to think. Like I've always been a t-shirt jeans kind of guy, but I'm like, I am more of a leadership position at work. I've been trying to dress a little more professional.
You need to wear khakis with a tucked-in polo.
No khakis, no polo. But then it makes me think like if why I have shirts that I've just held on to, and they don't fit, and it's like, if I don't like the way they fit, why do I keep these shirts? So it's
yeah,
like,
I'm in that process now.
Get rid of the junk and get good stuff.
I got to get rid of all my fat guy clothes now, which is tough because you can't just get rid of an entire wardrobe unless you making some sweet monies, which I am not. So I've slowly been able to buy a new pair of pants here and there or whatever, but even then there's like you said, shirts and stuff that you don't love but you just have them because they're clothes. Like, why get rid of them? You never know. It might be laundry day and you might have to wear that shirt. It'll be your last shirt in your wardrobe. So yeah.
Yep.
I hear you, bruh.
So what you got? Regale me with tales of...
Other than Diablo 3, which we've been hitting hard, as you do. We hit them streets hard. I played a little bit of a game called I just realized I'm missing something, so I'll just add this in because I forgot to talk about it, but I've been playing it. Little Nightmares, though, is one of them.
Oh yeah.
And that's mostly because I was like, oh wait, I have that game, and Donnie was talking about it at Playing Nintendo. He was like, I really want to play this, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try it out since I got it through Humble Bundle. So I loaded it up, and it's it's like Limbo or Inside, where you're kind of side-scrolling platforming type deal, and the atmosphere is really nice. It's dark, but it's kind of got a twisted fairy tale type feel to it. You play as this like little child, I want to say,
in your raincoat.
Yeah, in a yellow raincoat, exactly. And you're in a much larger world, or the world around you is much larger. So you do a lot of climbing, a lot of platforming, trying to open doors and stuff is always climbing on stuff and jumping to grab things. The controls are a little weird though, because you press A to jump, which is fine. You hold X to run, that's fine. But right trigger is to grab or hold things, or to like grab onto something and pull it. And so it gets a little weird when you're like climbing a wall and you're holding right trigger to climb it, and then you got to press A to jump off from the wall, and then hold the right trigger again to be able to catch whatever you're jumping onto. I don't know. It just feels a little bit cramped when there could have been better options, I think, or just an automatic hold or grab or something.
And is that like, can you like, is it like a one-hit death type of scenario with that game?
Yes,
If like you get caught by an enemy, you just die and you have to restart? Or...
I'm just now really getting into some other enemies. There were these like black little slugs. They almost remind me of the stuff that dropped out from the old Sega game Out of This World, or whatever it was called. I think it was Out of This World. But they would drop from the ceiling, and if they catch up to you, you die immediately. But that's the case for just about anything, it seems. But yeah, you move throughout the landscape, and sometimes it's kind of hard to know where you're supposed to be going as well. But I think the more you spend time with it, the more you understand what you're supposed to be doing, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty enjoyable, but I can only play it for about an hour because it gets a little frustrating sometimes. You'll be moving along a bridge, and the camera will move with you, but it will slightly skew the camera angle. And next thing you know, you're just like walking off the side of the bridge because you're not paying attention, or you're trying to hurry because you fell from a great height and you died or whatever. So it gets a little frustrating. And now that I'm getting into the spots where you're being chased by this thing that doesn't see, but it hears, and it feels around with these really creepy long arms, it gets a little bit tense at times. I got to admit, it's, you're running away from this thing and you're like, oh God, don't catch up with me, because it gets so close and you just barely make it or whatever. So it's a little tense sometimes to play. So yeah, I only play it in little chunks. Then I tried a little bit of American Truck Simulator. Now you always make fun of me for playing Euro Truck Simulator.
Josh was like, if this is what you're playing, because I'm not playing Diablo with you, and then I'll play Diablo.
Well, it was during the day. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I didn't think he was available, so I was just I kept running it through my mind, and again I got it through Humble Bundle, which is funny because of it's my type of dumb game. So I'm like, I really just need to hook up the wheel, but I'm so lazy. I don't want to hook it up half the time. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to hook this damn wheel up, and I will play American Truck Simulator. Because for one, you finally get to drive on the right side of the road. As far as we're concerned anyway. I don't think there's a right or wrong. You're used to whatever you're used to. And I don't know, like I like the simulation, the tycoon style of building up money. And, in this, you're doing your own, like you're taking jobs so that you can build up your transportation empire or whatever. So there's that growth factor to it too. And Josh says, I will quit work to stop you from playing this game. I like it. Okay. I'm sorry. I like it. It's fun. Shut up. It's a nice game to play because it's a driving simulator. So you can just put in some podcasts in your ears and just kind of zone out like you would if you were really driving.
That's true. That would be kind of nice.
So it's very low key. It's easy to just kind of chill to. But oh my gosh, dude, I haven't played this type of game in forever. And going from like Euro Truck Simulator to this, with such a span in between, I used to be able to just park the trucks. Okay, so you'd get to your destination and it would give you three options. Either you just drop it off and that's that. Like you never see it. You say, okay, I'm here, and that's that. And you don't get any extra experience. Then you say, where can I drop it off? Which means you just have to like drive up to a certain point that's pretty easy to get to. There's no backing up required or anything. So you just go there, you drop it off, and then you continue. Or there's where do you want it? As in, they'll tell you what bay to put it in. So much like, if you know what I mean, much like, because I've seen like we live next to Gordon Food Services and their distribution center and stuff. They'll
Mm-hmm.
have switch drivers, which will come in and take it to whatever dock they want if you just drop it off. So I imagine that's probably what the other options are. But this one, you gotta dock it yourself. Bye.
That's right.
And you get them extra XPs, which goes to, and you're like, well, what does that do? You know, like how do you level up in a truck simulator game? But it's just like the other game where you, the more experience you get, you level up, and then you can choose hazardous materials of different types, longer hauls, emergency hauls where they have a short amount of time to get somewhere, that type of thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just enjoy playing it. I got to be in the right mood, but I do enjoy playing it here and there. And then lastly, this game I just kind of just kind of checked out on a whim because I'm in that weird stage where I was playing the Surge and it kind of wasn't really hitting me. I don't feel like I want to go back to it right now. So I was just trying out a bunch of stuff to see what would stick. And I think it's going to be Hollow Knight because I've been playing it and it didn't strike me at first, but now something about like getting a map, and you've talked about it on the show before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I am playing it on the PC. I guess that's the big difference. But something about getting the map, and then you get the quill, and then every time you sit on a bench, it marks out where you've been, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the whole how it doesn't live update. Like, you have to go and sit on the bench to get your map to update. It doesn't live update as
it makes you feel like there's some stakes here. Like you need to get back. Like you can venture out a little bit, but then you need to get back or hope that there's a bench ahead of you because you're going to lose that. I don't know. If you die, do you lose the progress? Because I would assume you wouldn't save because you would lose your... Because it's like a roguelike in that you drop your money. Or like Dark Souls, you drop your money when you die and you got to return it. So I don't know. But anyways, it gives you some feeling like there's, I don't know, something to be lost if you, instead of just like, let's see how far I can get, and then I don't care if I die because I've marked the map and I know what's what. So I just got to the green area, whatever it's called, because I didn't know where the hell to go, but then I didn't realize.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, you can go any way you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I pretty much did all of the first area that I can. There's some jumps I couldn't make, that type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. If there's a spot that you think you can't get through, it's because you have to get an upgrade to
That's what
access.
I figured. And I've seen your stream, so I know there's dashing in the air and certain stuff.
Yeah,
dashing in the
dash,
air.
A double jump.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Is there a wall jump ever? Do you ever get a wall jump?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
I wondered that based on the way that it's set up.
Yeah, you get like these claws that let you wall jump, and then you have one skill that if you jump onto a wall, it actually will stick there, and as you charge up, and then you go flying across the screen.
Okay.
And you'll fly until you hit another object. So
nice.
Doesn't have a
that's a pretty long. Well, that explains how you get through that big spike row then.
Yep.
But yeah, the one thing I'm having troubles getting.
Have you fought
used
any
to,
bosses yet?
Just the one who, when you knock him over, his head comes out, like the false knight or something like that.
Yeah, and a little head comes out that you have to hit.
Yeah, and then I don't really consider it's more like a sub boss, but the mother bug, the one that bounces all over the place, and then when you kill it, it turns into a bunch of little ones. Not really a big deal.
Have you in the beginning area? Have you gone to the far top left, and you can see where there's the father little grub. He's missing all his little grub children.
Yeah. I already started to see some. Am I supposed to talk to that person? Because I've already gotten some grubs.
Yeah. Well, every time you get grubs, you can go back there and talk to them, and then that's you bet essentially they're already there, but you turn them in, and he gives you rewards based on how many you found.
I couldn't talk to him. When I went there, I had already found 2, and I stood in the middle because it looks like you're supposed to be able to talk to him, and I couldn't say anything.
Maybe you got to find more than that, but yeah, you should be able to talk to him, and he gives you money, and then he gives you a couple badges. There's quite a few upgrades you get from him.
I hope it didn't.
And there's a really fun twist I could tell you about.
No, I'm gonna find out on my own.
You got to find them all.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
the only way to know.
I'm gonna catch them all.
There is an item that you can get later in the game that shows their locations on their map, which makes it infinitely easier.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him, and I already found 2. So I'm wondering if that screwed it up somehow.
It should have.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
Maybe if I go back into it now, maybe it was just glitched for that one time.
Yeah.
Now that I've moved on a little bit. Well, the only thing I was going to say, and then I'll move on, is that it's hard for me to get used to his swing style because you're used to, like, in games like this, especially with how smooth the animation is, you feel like you should just be able to attack as fast as you want. But there's kind of like he only attacks like every half a second or something like that.
There's badges that augment your attack speed.
Okay.
So
Because right now I've gotten hit by really easy enemies that just charge at you because I'm mashing the button and it won't.
And
it doesn't really let you do that. So
you can get charged up attacks too.
Okay.
Or like you've probably seen me play. You have a couple variants. One's like a spinning attack, and the other one's like a slash.
I'm looking forward to that. And that's like the stuff that I like because the stuff that augments the game as you go instead of giving you like a ton of options ahead of time. I don't think I have Godmaster or whatever it's called, Master God or
Godmaster
that version. So I'll have to double check, but I'll probably have to buy that if I
honestly, Godmaster, you're not missing anything.
It's just the arena, isn't it?
Because it doesn't come in, and you can't really access it until end game. So,
okay.
And as far as I know, I mean, because it's all these different boss rush modes, and I can't even get through some of them yet. So I can't tell you all that's there.
I don't.
There's three DLC packs though for the game.
That's weird because when I look at the DLC on, Hollow Knight on Steam, I only see 2. I see the official soundtrack, which isn't even a DLC, and the Gods and Nightmares pack, which is $5. Oh, Hollow Knight Godmaster is out now for all players. So was it a free update?
It might have been a free update, maybe.
Godmaster is the final chapter of the Knight story in the hugest content pack. To celebrate the launch, Hollow Knight is also on sale. Yeah, I guess it was just free. That's cool.
There you go.
Cool.
Ooh.
Cool. So yeah, I'm going to play more of that. And lastly, I watched a movie that you saw a long ass time ago.
I did.
The Visit. It's an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie.
So you know it's good.
Here's the thing. If you know what's the big twist, what a twist. If you know the big twist, now I would say this isn't even that big of a twist. There's no real reason to watch this movie. I did not like it very much. Although, after watching VHS 2, this is a hell of a lot better. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but since I knew what was already going to happen, I didn't even feel like it was that big of a deal. It wasn't. I didn't think it was poorly made or anything. I didn't hate it. I don't know. I felt like they were really leaning on that one big twist, and once you already know that, it kind of you just know the whole time. So there's really no tension, I guess. And also, what mother allows their kids to just go off by themselves, sight unseen, because it was an email or something, to see the grandma and grandpa, which is supposedly your parents. And I get she wasn't like on good terms with them.
But didn't think anything of it as grandparents. But I don't know. I did enjoy the twist. I liked it.
But you didn't know, right?
No.
Exactly.
So how did you know everything about it? Someone had already told you, or
I don't know. I just knew. I think because I'm sure at some point I said, well, I'm never going to watch this movie, so just tell me what happens.
Yeah, because Jess and I went and saw it in the theater, so we saw it.
That's what I thought, which makes sense why you wouldn't have known what happened.
So yeah, if you knew the whole time, then that's a terrible movie for you then.
It was interesting to see, but again, another example of crazy lady crawling around on the ground and being spooky scary. I guess it was nice to see a movie that wasn't ghost stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Josh says, no, Josh, it's not because I went to film school. I mean,
It is.
maybe, but
It is.
I didn't say it was terrible. I just said it wasn't The Witch as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't It Follows. And even those aren't perfect. So I'm just saying when any movie that relies on a big twist, it's all of his movies, all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies. Although, you know, some of them are a little bit better than others as far as if you already know the twist, which is the case with any director. So I don't know. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm saying if you already know what happens, I wouldn't like rush out to go and see it, because I remember you talking about it and it made me, at least I like to see movies for myself. For the most part, I don't get pissed if I see a bad movie or if I see a movie I didn't like. I like to experience all movies. So I'm not mad I watched it. I just wasn't for me. So that's all I got. That was everything.
All you got?
Really. Yeah. Very game focused this time. So
hey, you know what?
Sometimes
it's okay to be game focused. It's okay to be game focused.
Good. Thank you.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that mix up. So I approve.
Thank you.
Well, my friend, grab bag's empty tonight, so it's time to go. It's time to end the show.
Well, considering we started a half hour late, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. So, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to all of our patrons. If you wanted to join, become a patron. Check out patreon.com/Fluxtaposed. Special thanks to our Arbiters of Awesomeness, Kevin, Austin, Kyle Hyman, Evan Callow, Tyler Allen, Tom Servo, Kyle Heyman, I should pronounce your name correctly, and our Executors of Excellence, Josh Barboni, Dan Anthony, and Siri Renee. We thank you all for your support. Actually, Kevin, I retract that. You're not an Arbiter of Awesomeness, but you'll be back. But you're still one in our hearts.
That's true.
Also, I want to give a special thanks for Marlene, our first Twitch troll in the chat.
Not our first or second, because the other guy who asked about Betty White, who wasn't dead.
Oh yeah.
How could you forget?
He's trying to throw me off my game by talking about me not having much hair. Well, spoiler alert, I see that every day, bro.
Say, I already know, and I already talk about it on the show anyways.
Yeah,
so
nothing new. GTFO! That's what we're going to do. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Tell all your friends, and we'll see you next week for more Fluxtaposed.